Alright, Shalom. Before I get started, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honor to the elders apostles, the great millstone, who rule well and teach well, and who are the true leaders of Israel today, starting with Elder Pastor Hart on down. I also like to give double honor to the head and the elder of the Men of Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under, down here in Greenville, South Carolina. And I also like to give another shout out to you sincere Akim, you brothers out there that's pushing this word and this truth and our sincerity and righteousness in these last days. All right, to y'all like to say Shalom. All right, and I'm coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Washah with another exhortation video. And Lord willing, this exhortation be edifying, all right, to whoever may watch. And pretty much I'm doing this lesson because, literally as like not even 10 minutes ago, I was walking out, I had just got out the plantation, and I had, got out the gate or whatever. It'd be some cars, parked or whatever. And I happened to look at this car, literally like the first car I looked at, it was on my right, and then it was on my right side at that. I turned over to my right, so that was a spirit, man. It's crazy. I turned my head to the right, and on the back of the car, on the windshield, it said, "Pray. This is your sign." And I just said, "Dang," because the Lord knew, I've been slacking lately on my praying, man. I was praying, every day, and the Lord knew I was slacking on that, man. The Lord happened. The Lord put signs in your face sometimes, man. All right, sometimes a brother may not say it, but the Lord have a sign on something and show you something, man. And He showed me that sign. As soon as I got out of the gate, man. As soon as I got out of the gate, the Lord had me turn my head to the right. It said, on the car it said, "Pray. This is your sign." So the Lord was talking to me like, you need to pray. Pray more, especially, in these times that we living in, and knowing that I was slipping on praying, the Lord know I need to pray, and then more than ever at that, man, because with all this shit going on, man, we got to pray constantly, man, and that's something, Elder Apostle Rachai always pushes, when I watch his videos, he always pushes prayer, man, pray, and I'm pretty sure every brother can attest to him saying that, whoever watch, Elder Apostle, Rachai, he always pushes, for us to pray, man, because honestly, without prayer, you nothing, pretty much, you have to pray, man, we ain't talking about praying for a new car or, although, yeah, we may need our car. We may need a car, I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with that, but you got niggas out here praying for a nice luxury car. Hey man, as long as that car can get you to point A or point B, man, hey, save the water you have about Shem Shot for it, because He gave it to you. As long as it worked, hey, call all you have about Shem Shot, the water you have about Shem Shot. But this is our sign to be praying more, man. Especially in the times that we are coming into. We got to pray to Yahweh Shem Shah to deliver us. We got to pray to Yahweh Shem Shah that He protects us. We got to pray to Yahweh Shem Shah that He's dealing with us, right? All that, man. So like I said, that was the spirit that the Lord had me, see that sign, bro, because He was talking to me right there, man. I don't take that lightly, man. The Lord telling me that I need to pray, because like I said, man, I was slacking on that, man. I'll say little prayers like, Lord willing, I pray to the Lord, that I make it to my destination safely. But I'm talking about heavy prayers, man. That's something I was slacking on, man. And that's something that I need to get back into, man. Because, I was doing good at one point in time in my prayers, man. Then I started slacking, So Lord willing, I get back to praying more heavy like I was, man. It wasn't for no reason the Lord had me see that sign, man. It wasn't for no reason. But that's why I'm doing this video, all right? Because, for brothers out there, Akim, or you few sisters, right? For whoever, slacking in prayer, this video is for y'all as well, man. Not only for me, first and foremost, it's for me, but it's for y'all as well, you know. That's why I'm doing it. So without further ado, I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna kick it off with 1 Thessalonians, all right, chapter 5 and verse 17. It says, pray without ceasing. You see that? And that word season, all right, without seasoning, all right, it means basically not stopping, continually. You must continually, pray. No matter what situation, no matter what's going on in your life, you must continue to pray to Yahweh Shem Shah. It says pray without ceasing, meaning praying without stopping. And now I ain't mean you praying and you just keep going and keep going. No, what it means is pray daily, man. Never not pray, man. You must always pray. Now, like I said, don't make it long, because it ain't meaning when you pray you just keep going and you keep going. No, the Lord talks about that as well, and I'm gonna get that as well. The Lord want us to pray, man. Meaning pray daily, man. We must pray to Yahweh Shem Shah daily, especially with these demons out here. And we fight against principalities and demons. We must stay prayed up, man. Right? Because if not, then you lie on Satan, to attack you from every angle if you're not praying, And Satan will have you start going off, right? Because you're getting weak. You're not praying. You're not asking Yahweh Shem Shah to protect you, So, like I said, let's get that scripture, all right, Matthew 6, because this is how you pray. Like I said, when it said pray without ceasing, man, because some people will be simple-minded and think that when it said pray without ceasing, meaning you supposed to continue to pray. I mean, not continue to pray, but like when you pray, you just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep. No, you damn near got a 20-minute prayer. No, that ain't what that mean, man. You got churches that does that, man. I remember one time back when I was little. One time, man, I was like, God damn, bro. I'm talking about long ass prayer, bro. Like, we standing up for like 10, 15, 20 minutes. So, let's go to Matthew chapter 6, and we're gonna start at verse 5 and read down to verse 6. It says, and when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues. That's these churches, you see. It says, and in the corners of the streets. Yeah, you have niggas out here praying in the streets, right? You have these Christians praying over people in the streets, right? The Lord ain't dealing with that, man. All right, it says in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of man. You see, they just want to be seen. Oh, look at them praying. They doing the Lord's will, man. They praying. Man, the Lord ain't dealing with that, man. The Lord ain't dealing with these Christian churches' prayers, man. Because first and foremost, they calling on Jesus. And that ain't the Lord's name, man. If you ain't calling on Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai? Hey, man, the Lord ain't hearing those prayers. The Lord is casting them prayers before him, man. He casting them shits off. The Lord ain't dealing with that, man. So it says, that they may be seen of man. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. It says, verse 6, but thou, you see, yourself, right? It says, but thou, when thou prayest, enter into that closet. Now, let me say this. It's not actually talking about you going to your closet. It means just going into a secret place. Although, yeah, you can go into your closet, but you don't have to go in your closet every time you pray. No, it just means be alone. Don't be around people, Pray to your Father in secret, right? It says, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to the Father which is in secret. And thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. You see that? So that's how you're supposed to pray. Matter of fact, I don't think it's in this verse. Yeah, it is. Verse 8. It says, Be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of him before ye ask him. And then it says, verse 9, after this manner, therefore pray ye our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. You see? So that's how you're supposed to pray. And then you can add some other stuff as well, but that's the Lord's Prayer right there. You know, that was the Lord's Prayer. But you can also pray for other things as well, man. Like keep me in the spirit, you know, have me, you know, allow me to, you know, have spiritual gifts, right? You can pray for other things, man. You don't have to just say the Lord's Prayer, but the Lord's Prayer should be in your prayers, man. You know? So we're not supposed to be doing all that murmuring and asking for the same, repeating the same thing over and over and over. No. Lord said keep it short and sweet, pretty much. Because he already know what you need. And even if you don't know, and even if you don't say it, the Lord knows in your spirit what you need, because your spirit is going to cry out as well. You see? So now let's go over to let's go to Matthew 26 and verse 41. It says, watch and pray. And what are you watching for? You watching for the things that are going on in this world. You're watching out for the prophecies. Right? It says, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. You see? So you even got to pray that you stay in the spirit. Because like I said, the spirit indeed is willing, right? The spirit want to do the thing. The spirit want to, you know, be righteous and you know, and live, and you know, and the spirit want to do right, is what I'm saying. The spirit don't want to go off. The spirit want to do right and live righteous, right? So it says the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. You see, so that flesh is going to get weak over time. That flesh is going to want to do other things. That flesh is going to want to be a nigga. That flesh is going to want you to go back to being an old man. You see, so you must watch and pray that you don't enter into that temptation again. Because that flesh is going to make you be tempted. You know, that flesh is going to tempt you to go back to your old ways, man. And we don't want to have to go back to our old ways. Like I said, we want to continue to elevate while being in this truth. We don't want to downgrade. We want to elevate, man. If you don't want to elevate, who are you? You know? I mean, truly though, who are you if you don't want to elevate yourself? I know I want to elevate myself. I know the brothers around me want to elevate themselves. And I'm pretty sure, you know, the rest of the sincere elect members out there want to elevate themselves. We don't want to just stay content in the same place. We want to elevate. We want to move forward, you know? So let's get this last precept, then we're going to close it out. All right? Now, this is an account where, you know, the disciples, all right, couldn't cast out a demon. But let's see what they say to do, what Yahushua said to do. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 9, and I believe that's in verse. Matter of fact, let me make sure it's in the red letter, but I believe Yahushua said it. Let's see, Matthew chapter 9 and let's see. Like, bear me 1 second. What is it, Matthew 9? Slakia, man, Slakia. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna start at Matthew 9, and I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 27. It says, Matthew 9 and 27. It says, and when Yahushua departed thence, 2 blind men followed him, crying and saying, Thou son of David, have mercy on us. And when he was come into the house, the blind man came to him, and Yahushua said unto them, Believe ye, it says, Believe ye that I am able to do this? They said him, Yea, Lord. And touch he their eyes, saying, According to your faith, be it to you. It says, verse 30, and their eyes were open, and Yahushua straightly changed them, saying, See that no man knew it. Know it, Slop. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Verse 31. But they, when they were departed, spread abroad his fame in all that country. And they went out. Behold, they brought to him a dumb man possessed with a devil. And when the devil was cast out, the dumb spake, and the multitude marveled, saying, It was never so seen in Israel. But the Pharisees said, He casted out devils through the prince of the devils. Hold on, man. Nah, this ain't it. Hold on. It's like, yeah. Because it was when Peter and them was trying to cast out a devil. Oh, okay, it was in Mark. That's why I couldn't find it. It was in Mark 9 to 29. I mean 28. Well, 28 and 29. So it's like yeah. Mark chapter 9 and verse 28. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at verse 25. It says, when Yahushua saw that the people came running together, he rebuked the foul spirit, saying unto him, Thou dumb and deaf spirit, I charge thee, come out of him, and enter no more into him. And the spirit cried and rent his sword, and came out of him. And he was as one dead, and so much that many said, He is dead. But Yahushua took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose. And when he was coming to the house, his disciples asked him privately, Why could not we cast him out? And he said unto them, This kind can come forth by nothing, but by prayer and fasting. So sometimes you may just need a prayer and fast for you to cast certain demons off you, or you know, for you to elevate in the spirit. Sometimes it may just take fasting and prayer. You know, sometimes you gotta fast as well, because when you fasting, you more closer. All right, you tapping more into the spirit when you fasting, man. You know, you at your low when you fasting, man. You see, so sometimes it takes fasting as well. Not only just prayer could just work, but sometimes you may just have to fast as well with praying. Sometimes you need a combo. You know, just like how you got the burger, you need the fries with it, with the drink. You know, you need the combo. You can't just have the main course meal and not have the side. Sometimes it takes both, you know, to fill you up. You know, so like it says, it come by prayer and fasting. Sometimes, like I said, you need both, man. So that's pretty much all I had. Lord willing, this video will be fine edifying. I'm going to close it with giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honor to the elders, apostles, the great millstone, who rule well and teach well, and who are the true leaders of Israel today. Stop elder apostles to harm down. And double honor to the head and the elder of the man of Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under that here in Greenville, South Carolina. Shalom, Tisha Set, Akim. Shalom.